What happened to all of you who believed them? What happened to all of you who didn't believe them? Everyone is a victim. They failed. And then again, ask them if you are still believing in that one Nigeria. Ask them, what is the plan? I can tell you this free of charge. None of them has any plan to take you out of this so quagmire, because the only way to get out of it is to allow the people to take care of their own affair regionally, develop their own security architecture to protect themselves in the hands of invaders, internal criminals and external criminals. At least with what we have witnessed so far, the terrorists killing us in Yoruba land, those ones who had the audacity to enter our church, they are not just Fulani terrorists. They are the ISIL terrorists, in which means that you have Boko Haram in Yoruba land. How do you figure and solve that? No, you can't figure that by talking about economy from consumption to production. That's not going to solve it. You can't build anything or make anything in a space where you have insecurity. Ask them these questions and see how they answer them. But for us, we are not waiting for them. We want to be alive. To have Yoruba nation, to have Oduduwa Republic, you need to be alive. And being alive means that you must be security aware. You must be security alert. You must be security conscious, which is the general balance. Be security conscious. Watch and pray that you have in the Bible. Simply means that be security wise. Then pray. If you have to pray, hold your gun. I am not kidding you. Yeah? Watch. Be alert. Be security alert. Defend yourself if you have to. And then find time to pray to your Lord and Savior to save you. I agree with that. I love to watch and pray. In Yoruba land, they said, Ojuba yini alakon finga idiori. Wetin be alakon? No be that one is na crab, abi. Alakon. So you know, say alakon no get too much muzzle to guide and all of that. But you see this eyes that is rolling 360 degrees. That's how alakon watches itself, which simply means that even in Yoruba land, where you have what they call the mojamosa, that is, you learn how to fight, then you run to fight another day, which simply means that wherever you have as a protection, especially whether it is prayer, whether it is ibile, you must at the same time learn how to protect yourself other than what is going to protect you, that thing that you believe in. So don't move away from it, so to say. That's what I'm trying to put towards you. We need to give our people, if you want to indeed fix any insecurity, you need to give people the right to develop their own security architecture. In Yoruba land, we have one. Just to fund them, when you develop a security architecture for your own people, which suits your own terrain, which simply means that you understand your own demographic settlement better than anyone else. If you see stranger, you can cite them. You can, you can pick them out of the crowd. When I say strangers, I'm talking about new faces. If you are living in a place, you will obviously know those who have never been here. You can tell, won't you? We all live in different communities all over the world. If you cite a strange face, simultaneously, continuously in your community, what do? You alert the community. I don't know this face. If they can tell you who they are, fair enough. If nobody can tell you who they are, alert the bigger organ in that community. When I say the community, I'm talking about the security too. Alert them. So if Nigeria is in a way a real place where the regions are managing their own affairs, security would have been our own business in Yoruba land. All our forests would have been raiding off these illegal invaders who have been the pain in the ass, and they continue to tell our people who are their victims that they own the land. How could they own the land in Yoruba land? You have to own a land by either buying the land, or by conquering the people there. And in this 21st century, nobody goes anywhere to conquer people and say, I own this land now. and the people therein. Doesn't work anywhere. And if any government says, learn how to live with them, that government obviously genuinely doesn't have the interest of the people in their heart. So then, what do? You disintegrate from that arrangement. None of them will tell you that Yoruba should protect Yoruba land. They are still going to tell you that their fraudulent government of Nigeria, the compromised Boko Haram security armed forces of Nigeria, the security intel of Nigeria, who has been compromised by these Talibanistic jihadists in Nigeria. That is the same system they are going to say will provide us security. Come on, man. That's not what we signed up for, remember? So, yeah, it would have made sense if they allowed Yorubas to protect Yoruba land. When I say protect ourselves, it's not just by our voodoo, it's not just by our own charms. I'm talking about, providing logistics, providing ammunition for the right and well-trained people, volunteers who are ready to go in there and chase these rogues out. These are the people who can protect the land. These are the people that the government of Nigeria disarmed, and they did that on purpose. You get what I mean now? So, but before we now probably take it to that level, we should let our people know that they should never continue to play into their hands. When you get them, when you grab them, extract proper information from them. Don't beat them before you do that. Don't scare them. The information you get from them when they are pretty much unsure what you are going to do to them, they can really pretty much be like 60-40 reliable. I mean, I'm not a security expert, like I said, but if you probably guarantee them that they're going to leave, yeah, they are likely going to probably tell you the truth. And you are likely going to know that they are telling you the truth. And obviously, you can know how to get the truth from them before anything else is done, because this is so important. It is so important. Even if you have all the ammunitions in this world, yeah, and you don't have the right information, if you don't, you're probably just going to be running into an ambush. So the terrorists that can ambush us in the middle of the night, the terrorists that can walk into our churches, the terrorists that can walk into our markets, the terrorists that can walk into our schools, the terrorists that can just stop our cars on the road, the terrorists that can walk anywhere and kidnap us just at any time and then take ransom at will and brag that they own the land. The terrorists who can do all of this, who are doing all of this, targeting soft spots. Me and you, we are the soft spots. I don't have guns. I don't have any training about this or that. I am a soft spot. You are a soft spot. If all you know is just go about your normal life, you just want to probably just live your normal life. You want to earn your living, take care of your family, provide for your family. I mean, provide for yourselves and just be happy. That is not too much to ask for. Politicians are already taking this away from us. They are already looting that away from us. Then the life, the precious life that we have so well, that we believe that as long as we have this life, there's so much we can still do. No matter what we lose today, there's so much we can gain tomorrow, as long as we are still alive. You see, that hope is now becoming a bargain, your life or your land, as it is today. So the government took that away from us. The terrorists are also taking that away from us. They want to take our lives. So Nigeria is not going to let us have that. And we say it is now our own turn to forget about them. Seriously, you and I just want to live a soft life. There are people who are ready. They just want to, they don't want to be talking. They don't talk. They want things done. And they are right there in Yoruba land. They are watching me right now. They are waiting for me and you all over the world to take action. But before we take that action, we also want to see them do better now than the attention the media might want them to get. You don't need media attention now. You see, the next couple of weeks, you see, these coming weeks and months, there's a lot that is going to come your way. And when I say a lot of support, a lot of attention is going to come your way. And I have learned something. They say nobody in this life, or nobody has ever defeated an army of volunteers. Nobody. You see, people will say, yes, I mean, I'm putting everything in it. Is it about Yoruba nation? Mayegun, I'm putting everything in it. Mayegun, If it is about Yoruba interest, if it's about our people, Yimayegun, I'm ready to put everything in it. They are like an army. And they are called army of volunteers. Nobody can defeat them. You can't defeat them. That is why you have it so difficult to quench IPOB. No matter every death you throw at them. Have you studied them? I did. I have studied them. More than 80% of members of IPOB, they are volunteers. And being a volunteer comes from conviction. Is this thing right? Is this thing legal? Is this thing that we are doing, is it justifiable? Can I die for for these things that we are doing? Conviction. Then I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to be part of it. Whatever it's going to take. And volunteering as an army for a purpose comes in different categories. And that is why I will continue to encourage all of us in Yoruba land, Yoruba sons and daughters. All these things you are seeing right now, they are just like a storm in the teacup, but they are going to become bigger storm if you are divided and you don't have an idea of what you are doing. You must have an idea what is happening. Then you must have an idea of what you are doing. Then you must have the conviction that you want to do it. Do you have the conviction that you want to do this? Keep Yoruba safe. Protect Yoruba interest. Yoruba's progress. The unity that comes with the generation that will no longer take a no, that will no longer take no for an answer. Do you belong to that generation? Do you? Have you asked yourself? Then we have the volunteers. Some are ready as volunteers to physically go out there. And that is where you have the example of Oloye Sunday Igboho. He is a volunteer who volunteered to lead the other volunteers and say Yoruba land must be protected. All these things must be exposed. All this what do you call all this invasion must never be covered or watered down or underplayed for political gains or just for being politically correct. That is a category of volunteers. Physical one. If they received all the support that they needed, they would have become the army of the physical army of volunteers who are ready to lay down their lives for you and I, who are also ready to stage the frontal media and the public war. Because as these people volunteer, they need you and me, who are not physically there or who will not be physically there, to help them face the war that the world would throw at them when they are going to be misjudged. That is a stage of volunteering. And all of this volunteering comes from conviction. There is the volunteering part of finance, who are pretty much like, if I have to put my mouth somewhere, then I must be able to put my money there. If I want those who volunteered physically to go after these invaders and keep us safe in their own right way and, protect them, supply them and give them the resources that they need. If I can't be that, then I must be those who provide those gears. That is a stage of volunteering. And all of these stages of volunteering must come from a conviction. What is your conviction? Are you convinced enough that the little you are going to do is going to go a long way to keep Yoruba land off the bad news coming from Nigeria? It happened in Igongon. It happened in Nayete, in Barapa, Okeogun. It just happened right there in Owo. Where is next? So if your own conviction is that Yoruba land is vulnerable indeed, and I'm not going to be politically correct about it. Of course, I can't be physically there to chase these terrorists in this forest, as they are saying. But I can provide the boots. Yes, I can provide the boots for each volunteer. Oh, I can provide a bulletproof vest. How much is a bulletproof vest? Oh, each one is going to cost about $2,000. Wow, that's a lot. Well, I've got $10. Can I contribute to that? Yes, you can. Now, when you bring that idea of that conviction to the people who feel convinced that they have a role to play to end this bad news today, bad news tomorrow, or the PTSD for bad news that always come out of Nigeria, and you are waiting right there and waiting, saying, oh, is it going to be us? Oh, is it going to be us? What are they going to do? What are we doing? Is it going to be who is he going to be next? It is about conviction, a role that everybody needs to play. And building the army of volunteers is not hard. They are there. They just need to be motivated. And that is why, from the start of this video, I explained to all of you who have done tremendous job. Yeah, you have. With little or no resources at all, you have provided security in Yoruba land. Yes, you have been overwhelmed. What is coming is going to overwhelm you. We know that. But sometimes, if you pay attention very well, you probably have what you need right there at your disposal. Follow the step the advisor gave earlier. We have engineers. We have, as somebody just said, we have chemistry engineers. We have those who can make a lot of things to help us and help you, right? But you must be able to provide real information this time around, not innuendos, not half-truth, not superstition. Let us please play down the superstition of some people said we need to invest in getting bees, oyin, agbon, to go and help us and attack those who are terrorists in the forest. You see, all of these ideas, you also need right information to apply them to. Okay, let me tell you something. If we want to seek the support of the Alale, we want to seek the support of the Alale, the Igbarumoles, all of the, all of the head of different, powerful houses in Yoruba land to come to our aid. Gone are the days that you just believe that you will tell them they are the Omenedua, Omene no West. The rumorless will go and locate the terrorists, and the rumorless will just do this and that to them. It is time for us to do away with that superstitious belief now. This is why. If we want to apply our Igba rumorle to do some tracking for us, how about we go to the Igba rumorless? Ogunlaka ayé ọ̀sìn mọ́lẹ̀, olómi nílé fẹ̀jẹ̀wẹ̀, òláṣọ nílé fi mọ̀kímọ̀ bóra. Ogunlaka ayé, èṣù láàlú, láàróyè, ẹ̀bọ̀ra tí ń jẹ́ látọ̀ pa. Èṣù bá oníláàlú ń sunkún, ẹlẹ́kún ń sun ẹkún, láàróyè ń sẹ̀jẹ̀. How about we go to them and say, láàlú àti gbogbo Igba irúnmọlẹ̀, we have received an intel. This intel says we have a Fulani armed terrorist hiding behind Idonre Hill. at the center of this path, at this so radius. We are going there. You, our Igba Irumole, our army, our soldiers are ready. Your sons and daughters, the information we have everything. But we believe that you can fight the battle for us, but we are not just going to say and sit back. We want you to go ahead now and fight the battle for us. But we are coming too. When you fight the battle, we'll come back there and finish them. How about we tell our Igba Irumoles that we have the intel already and we are going there now, and they should support us, they should lead us. You know why? I discovered that we have been misapplying most of these things, even in Nollywood, even in Yoruba Nollywood. If so many of you have paid attention very well to some things, when you watch all these Jagun movies in Yoruba movies, the old ones, so I don't know the ones they are doing for you these days, so I don't watch most of their movies anymore, because when you begin to hear Babalawo, they speak English. When you begin to hear, you know what I mean, Sha? Or Babalawo begin to take course, they say they be modern Babalawo, and they begin to tell you how disappear this. If you go back to the ancient ones, where people like us, so the last generation, we saw Nigeria, the ending real Nigeria and the imagined fake Nigeria might together. Now my generation saw I'm last. Now we them born in the 80s. That was the last time, between democracy, military, and the rest. Yeah. You see them whenever before they go to war, in those movies, which is typical of what we read in history. They will come there, they will bring all the deities together. They will bring all the armies together. They are ready, they are armed, ready for war. Yeah? All the charm, everything, they are ready. Then they will come to the deities and say, Ẹ̀yin Igba Irúnmọlẹ̀ Olúkọ̀tún, Igba Irúnmọlẹ̀ Olúkòsì. You know, they will praise all the deities and call and summon them. And they will say, we are going to, they will tell a location. We are going to Agbabiaka town to go and fight. And we want you, our deities, to follow us. No be say people go sit down somewhere and they will say they can see this, they can see that. We've passed that Yahoo thing now in Yoruba land. And I want you to know that, it's so important. That is why superstition, we are going to send Oyin after them. Send Oyin after who? What location? Which location do you have? Oh, don't worry, the Oyin will locate them. So when the Oyin locate them, how would you know the Oyins have located them? Oh, they are going to run to town. They will be crying with their guns. This is no time for joke. We are talking about security of lives and security of, we are talking about human lives here. It's not time for superstition. Misapplication of our own traditional belief is the reason why they say it's a joke. It's not a joke. We need, when you catch them, when you get any of them, and you know you can extract information from them, this is called intel. Usually, we should have people in Yoruba land who are ready as volunteers to go into those forests and extract information for us, extract movement. This is what Nigeria should be doing. In fact, this is what your DSS or the Daura Secret Service, this is what they are paid to do, to know information, to know crime before they happen. Yoruba should be able to have that too. Now, if you are managed to capture any terrorist, don't kill them, don't do all of that right away. Be smart enough to extract information from them, so that if we want to use Oyin to chase the terrorists, we can know the direction to give the Oyin, so that when the Oyins go there, we can be able to trace it and say, yeah, see all the terrorists here now, see all their guns, see all of them, they are dead. We didn't touch them, we just invoke our own deities to do that for us. That will make sense. I can pay for that. Yes, I can pay. In fact, I can tell people to put money together and mobilize you to do that. But you need real information. All this bragging no going to help us. All the bragging is not going to attract responsible people to support us on security for Yoruba land, okay? Many of us are smarter than all of the Fabu. Some people will say we should give them money. Give you money for what? We are going to do this. We need to kill cows. We need to do this. We need to do that. Our own Orisha, our this and that are going to go after them. Come on, man. This is 21st century, for goodness sake. I'm not saying our deities can't do this, but let us come on. Let us be smart enough. What do I mean by that? We have it, they said that we have over 1,740 something illegal Fulani camps in our forests in Yoruba land. But if I ask you to bring me that data right now and the locations of this 1,748, would you be able to bring it out? Are Onokakanfo gave us this information. Yeah, Iba Gani Adams repeated it, said, we have this information. I'm not saying they should make it public like that, but we all know that if we have this information, this is good enough to say we want to send our deities to chase these terrorists out of the forest. We want to send it to 15 locations. We can begin to clear the locations by using our deities if this data is actually available per se. Again, my opinion, me, I want something that work. Okay, I don't want us to rely and say, sit down, let's do it. It is not reliable if you can't trace and track. Trace and track will help us. And that's why technology is so good. I love information. It is so golden. I told you, information is so golden if you know how to use them very well. People pay a fortune to get information. This kind of information, you pay a fortune. So when people say they can do it, I ask, is it when they kill your son before you can do it, or is it when somebody pay you? That's when you invoke them. There is nothing to invoke. Every one of them is just a jobber. But we can make use of our own traditional beliefs if we also learn how to use the formal intel gathering. You can get, you see, any terrorists you grab, any of these terrorists you grab anywhere, yeah, in your community, pass the information, extract intel from them. From this intel, you can now group and gather together, yeah, with the right resources. You can surprise them too. Who says you can't surprise a terrorist? We don't need to give you money to go and buy a cow just because you want to protect Yoruba land. No. That's a lie. You are lying. Like I said, I grew up in Ondo. Your cow is going to be, if Babalawo say, may you go bring a cow, they won't take and do security for you, Baba. They won't take your cow, chop. They won't chop your cow. So if anybody is for Yoruba land, and they say, I'm going to do this and that's going to wait, you will see what will happen. Come on. A lot of people have told us that a lot of time. Even Oloye Sunday Igboho, our own Oloye Sunday Igboho, he had to actually put together an army. Yes, an army. He put together a group of people armed, and they went into the forest. He did not sit back in his house and started calling on the deities to go into Igangan, to go into Ibarapa and go after the terrorists, kidnapping our people there. Igboho didn't do that. All of them didn't. They didn't. What did they do? They went after them. And that's what we should do. Please. So sorry if some of you have spoken to me about we should go and see our this and that. See, I have people who are contacting me. You won't believe it. On this issue of Yoruba nation, Yoruba security, I have people who are contacting me, telling me that we need some Metutu, we need some Metutu that will send all the terrorists away and all of that. So, Etutu is good if I see the army that is going to go after the terrorists first. You know what I mean? Like, I like Etutu too. Let's do Etutu to appease the gods, to make it easier for those who want to physically go after the terrorists. A lot of money have been raised, a lot of money have been given to a lot of people who have made a lot of mouth. Seriously. So that's why I said, I'm not trying to take a jab at you, okay? I'm just saying that you are misapplying it. Maybe you don't know you are misapplying it. Many of you have collected money. They are doing sacrifice. They are doing this and that. But look at what happened in our war. They will only give you excuses, Abi. So what if you have been misapplying it? Like there must be a physical part of it before you can then do the spiritual part of it to back it up. Abi, anything otherwise, my brother na Yahoo, na so na Yahoo, Yahoo plus. So I have proposed to you. We are going to help. I'm a Yoruba man. My help may not be, you see, that is not to override other helps that is coming people's way, okay? We are going to help. On Mayegun's Diary Political, where we have formed what we call the Yoruba Rescue Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow, it seems that Yoruba Rescue Fund has become the name that we are going to stick with in the next coming days and weeks. I want you all to please get used to this now. We have experimented with different names, different ideas, and all these suggestions. But I want to let you know that the way to get help down to our people and just shift it from just talking and talking is to go ahead with our program. And we are going to go ahead with our program in the next few days or weeks or months. But the name is going to remain Yoruba Rescue Fund, which is going to be interpreted as Igbimo Maje Obaje Omo Yoruba. And that will be what will be underneath the Yoruba Rescue Fund. And that fund as a team, pretty much like, International Monetary Fund. Well, it's not a joke, okay? But it's going to be Yoruba Rescue Fund. We won't change it, okay? We're going to stick to that. But we are going to add that to it. And by tomorrow, when my guys who are working on it, when they are done, I'm going to bring here a rebranded, redesigned logo for this project. Among other things that we want to do, this is going to be an opportunity for every one of us who want to be volunteers. Volunteers, maybe not security volunteers, but we will need security experts, Yoruba, non-Yoruba speaking security expert to join us, because data sharing to help us provide security for our people is going to become a paramount. So I'm saying this now as a project that you've all been kind of, expecting and waiting for. Yeah, I love it if we have to pay for sacrifices, but I'll pay for a kind of a drone, a security drone that is going to begin to cover some part of the forest of Yoruba land. Something I can probably ask that we should do, something that provide a real, a pictorial evidence, the movement in different illegal camps that cannot be explained. This information will be the information that most of us who want safety in Yoruba land we are going to use. And our resources are going to go towards in helping the volunteers who are already there in Yoruba land. Yoruba Rescue Fund is going to be. And we are going to set up a 5-man team, which I'm going to call the Board of Trustees. The law in the UK, who is going to help us set up this fund. Yeah, we need this legal backing. We do, seriously. That's why we're not just going to open it, remove the curtains and start the project. So we need to go legal now. So the legal framework for it in the UK requires that we have, residents in the UK who are Yorubas who believe in this project with me. We're going to set that up now as an organization that is going to become a worldwide organization, a transferable, organization, so to say, a kind of, So what I'm building now is that I have a team of 5 board of trustees that are going to be working with me. They are going to be in the UK as the headquarters of this project, Scotland to be precise. Then afterward, this board of trustees are also going to come together very soon to give clearance, a legal backing for the establishment of this fund in America, in North America, which include Canada, in Asia, as many as the volunteers are going to come up all over the world. The legal framework is to say, this is not a Mayegun, this is a Yoruba project. This is yours as it is mine as well, which means that it is transferable. My Yegun can leave, the what do you call whatever position I have to take now. My Yegun can leave that any moment, and then the board can choose somebody else to take over when my Yegun wants to move on. I want us to build something that should be the foundation for all of our own dreams that we want to happen in Yoruba land. I have this so long, and I have a lot of people who have the similar dreams with me. How do we discover them, and how then do we legally put ourselves, in check of what we do and responsible for all we do, and keep the track of what we do as we begin to do them in the coming weeks, and on like that. So I mentioned the legal part. We want this to remain your project, our project, whereby you are going to set up the executive branch of this all over the world. As you are watching me right now, I have people who have already told me that they want to be volunteers here and there. It is a thankless job. In most cases, it is a no-pay job. So if you volunteer to be part of our executive to carry out of our operations, anyone can do it. And let me tell you something. What we are building, by the time it comes upstream, is called a sort of a layer-styled system of leadership and then organization generally. What does that mean? Everyone is replaceable. I mean, you are a volunteer, aren't you? As you are a volunteer from your region, from any part you are, and you got chosen to lead them based on whatever you have to offer, after few of your own activities, your contribution, your show of commitment in a space of a short time that can earn the trust of the people in your own location. You are in Chicago. You are a volunteer in Chicago. And there you are. And we have over, maybe let's say we have over 1,000, 5,000 people in the state of Illinois alone. And in Chicago, you have more than 200 or 300 of you who are members of this whole movement. Then they choose you to lead them, knowing that any one of them could be the leader representing that group there. If they say move, there is a legal framework that you know yourself that you have to move. So this is a layer system that we have built so that any suspicion of a compromise by anyone who is given the responsibility of representing us in any part of the world, when we finally come upstream, yeah, any form of alleged, breach of a trust, you will be removed. And to let you know that you have no control for real, you are just a representative. All of us own this. And to make you realize this, you will read this in the legal framework before you eventually take up the responsibility. The point we want to imbue, want to try to imbue in people, to ingrain in people, is to see that if you want a good leadership that can bring results in anything we do in Yoruba land, then you must be an example of what you want to see out there. If you are ever happen to be in any of those positions, which is going to be in thousands, we are going to create something that is so massive. Yes, very, very massive. I'm talking about a big thing for Yoruba people, for Yoruba land, and you are going to own it. You are going to nurture it. You are going to make it live. You're going to give it life. You're going to represent it. You're going to be the ambassador for it. And we're talking about millions of people all over the world. Now, that responsibility is what we want to imbue in every one of us. So if you found yourself in any leadership position, just know that you owe us that responsibility of making us better and better and better until we reach our own promised land. I mean, Yoruba land. So take it serious. Get convinced. Own your conviction. Spread it in your family members. Talk to your sons and children. Talk to your children. Talk to your spouses. Own this, because in the next 10 years, you are going to be grateful that you are doing this. The success of this is going to be a generational one. And guess what? The success of it is up to you. The idea is there. How do we make it work? It's up to you. It's up to me. We can talk all morning, all night about the insecurity, But if we don't do something traceable, something trackable, something you can check, something you can touch, rightly or wrongly, you can pretty much judge, something you can call yours, something you can pretty much say, are we winning or are we losing? People signed, 5 million people signed a petition to leave Nigeria. Now it is time to put that number into practice. It is time to put that number into use. It is time to discover those numbers because they are humans, aren't they? They are people and they are more than that. How do you make that happen? An organization like this is going to make it happen. A layers kind of organization that is all about responsibility, leadership. If you are either representing as a leader or you are following a directive of an event, you are a leader in your own position. Now, if you believe that, it simply means that we cannot afford to fail ourselves. If you cannot afford to fail yourself, I can't afford to fail myself. I don't want to be a failure. Then if you can't afford to be a failure, then you can't afford to be part of something that's going to fail. So, which means if you're part of it, you must never let it fail. And that's the spirit we're going to start with. And then when we get to that point, you see this issue of security, the issue of providing resources, the issue of giving our people the boost, the issue of stopping complaining, right? They will become the thing of the past. You can then say you have it in your hand. Then politically, when those are people who have been manipulated politically receives and begin to see the effect of what we are doing, it's going to also have its own effects. The effect is that, yes, you can be able to now engage them and tell them, this is not right, this is right, this is wrong, and this is right. This is going to hurt you in this way. Then they will begin to listen to you because by then you'll begin to have an alternative for them. Look at it today. We told our people that Nigeria is a failed place, a weakened system that is deliberately weakened. Our people are deliberately impoverished, and they should never be part of an election because if they should be part of it, they are validating the same fraud that is going to continue to impoverish them. But do you know what we missed? We have been telling them same thing again and again, and we want them to also do different thing simply because we are telling them that they should stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop listening to them. Stop voting for them. In fact, don't vote for them. We are not providing, or we are not giving them alternatives. We are telling them about Yoruba nation. They know about it, right? But we are not making them own it. But look at what happened in the last few weeks. Peter Obi here, Peter Obi there, Peter Obi here, Peter Obi there. Your Yoruba brothers and sisters who also want Yoruba nation is stylishly mixing up with the Peter Obi. You know why? They too don't want Nigeria. They believe in Yoruba nation. But somehow, they want something more. They want something effective. They want something they can see, they can touch and say, yeah, they can believe in. Not just talk. When the petition for 5 million came up, did you see how they responded? It simply tells you there is a demographic, that there's a demography, a part of us in Yoruba land who want Yoruba nation badly. And once they have something they can touch, something real, they will do what you want them to do, right? But look at it today. Peter B here, Peter B there. Don't go and register to vote. Don't go and vote. Don't go and do this. Stop wasting your time. Stop validating them. This and that. But they continue to troop out. They want to vote. You know why? People are giving them an alternative. Peter B, Peter B, Peter B, Peter B, Peter B. Some of those people, some of our own brothers and sisters that you are going to talk to in Nigeria that are already tired of a PDP APC. Some of them are beginning to realize that they should boycott if it's going to be APC PDP. They're not going to be part of it anymore. Now look at what is going on. They've turned it into a political revolution. You and I believe that the system is going to come hard on them. But guess what? Before the system come hard on them, somebody just gave them an alternative. Something they believe that if they manage to pull it off, they could end PDP APC. What will happen afterward? They may not be thinking about that yet. Or somehow they are now believing that they could end that. There are people who believe that with Yoruba nation, they will be done with PDP APC in their lives. Do you know that? All these things, they work hand in hand. if you want the people on your side, you must provide them something they can feel, something they can touch. And you need to give it to a larger number, a larger populace. And that's where I stand. And that is my goal. How do you make an average Yoruba son and daughter so passionate about who he is? Nigeria is going to be great. They are shouting it again. But Nigeria is going to happen to them. When Nigeria happens to them, many of them are going to be so disappointed, dejected. But there are those that are veterans in that area. They have been disappointed again and again and again and again and again by Nigeria. That nothing shocks them anymore. There are young people that shouldn't get used to that. When people say, let us, Yoruba should wake up, Yoruba should raise the army, Yoruba should this and that. We have them. We are just not present in them. How do we get present? How do we become present in them? Yoruba Rescue Fund. You and I. You and I will do that. We have volunteers who are going to collect donations in the area of personal use, personal effects, personal merchandise, and stuff like that. That we are going to pump into that same economy, Yoruba land. To tell people not to join any of the charade election and what have you, it's easier. Give them an alternative. I've said a lot tonight. I've given an idea that you can call amateur advice. All of now will be security experts. You don't hear me tonight. Or war killers. I don't believe they were arrested. The police have come out to say they have not been arrested. All the news about the killers of our people in Owo yesterday has become a mumbo jumbo, something that is messed up right now. Are they going to capture the ISWAP, the terrorists that kill our people? I don't think so. Not by using this method. We must do better. I'll open my line because, like I said, me I know to know everything. But waiting I talk tonight, you reason them too. Reason it. Reason everything I've said. And then tell me that I am totally wrong. And I will listen to you when I get back from making my tea. Now, you can like that video once again before you probably join me for that chart. Like the video, still share it, subscribe if you haven't. And when I get back, we'll continue. I'll take calls.